The St. Louis couple who became famous for pulling out a gun after defending their home from violent rioters have been charged for pulling out their guns. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we're going to talk about the St. Louis couple who have made headlines time and time again. Now, their names are Mark and Patricia McCloskey, but time and time again, people have memed on these people saying that they're Karen and Kyle. Yeah, because how dare they defend their own property from violent rioters? So, we're here on Politico, and as you can see, St. Louis couple charged for pulling guns at protests. Now, I want you to think about that title, because it doesn't really tell you the truth of the situation. The truth is, these two people, the St. Louis couple, had their home invaded by violent rioters. And I'm going to tell you exactly why they are violent. Here you can see on Fox News, because Fox actually told the truth. Here it says, armed St. Louis protesters broke iron gate, threatened couple before they drew their own guns, attorney said. So, they quote here that we were told that they had, threats against them, so they pulled out their weapons and they said, don't tread on me, our rights aren't going to be infringed, you guys are invaders, and I want to show you. Here you can see the gate. They completely and utterly destroyed that gate. They damaged it. Now, the media loved to ignore this, but, it's right here. They took down a metal gate. That's not easy to do. You ever seen one of these metal gates? It's not easy to break it in half. So, yeah, as soon as they committed that act of violence, they were no longer protesters, but rioters. And furthermore, it's not like they invaded a gated community, which they did. The issue is, this wasn't even a big area. This was their lawn, right? They literally broke down their gate and went onto their lawn. So we've got to look at this because this is very recent news. It's breaking news, and we're going to check it out. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell button for notifications for more content. And of course, if you like this video, also please consider sharing it. So here we go. The article says, St. Louis couple charged for pulling guns at protest. President Donald Trump has championed the cause of Mark and Patricia McCloskey. Now, I love how they imply that this is a bad thing, that they were wielding their guns. But you can obviously see the political bias here. If someone were to break onto your lawn, into your house, and then start yelling at you and throwing threats, these left-wing radicals and revolutionaries, oh boy, I'll tell you what, I would defend my property, and they would regret ever coming near me. So, they're being dishonest right off the bat. Here it says, St. Louis. St. Louis's top prosecutor told the Associated Press on Monday that she is charging a white husband and wife with felony unlawful use of a weapon for displaying guns during a racial injustice protest outside their mansion. Now, I want to tell you why this story doesn't, why this whole so-called protest, and we know it was a riot because they were violent and they broke things. I'm going to tell you why it was so stupid. This St. Louis couple are lawyers. And what do they do for their job? Well, they help out people. Defending, I don't think they're really prosecutors so much. They go to bat for people in the courts. And they've helped a lot of African Americans in their work. So how does it make sense that for a couple who help minorities, why were they being attacked by these mostly white, radical, left-wing rioters? It makes no sense. So Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner announced that the charges against Mark and Patricia McCloskey, who are both personal injury attorneys in their 60s, they also have to face a misdemeanor charge of 4th-degree assault. Assault in the 4th degree? What did he do? Throw a rock that bounced off a trampoline, that bounced off a wall, that then hit a bird, and then the bird fell, and then the bird fell on someone? I have no idea what that even means. Okay, there's 1st degree, that's, obviously assault. There's the 2nd degree assault, where I guess it's an accident. What exactly is 3rd degree assault? Is that like negligence? And then what is 4th degree? How is that assault? They didn't assault anyone. What about the threats from the rioters? Gardner said in an interview with the AP ahead of more broadly announcing the charges that McCloskey's actions created a violent situation during an otherwise non-violent protest. Yeah, okay, so this Gardner lady, Attorney Kim Gardner, no, I talked about her before, but I think she's an absolute moron, idiot, stupid head. Oh yeah, I went that far. I said she's a stupid head because she is. How dare you? How dare you charge these two? The audacity for defending their own property. Look, we've seen we've all seen the picture of the broken down gate. It's clear that these people were not peaceful. Now, we do have some good news, of course. You may have heard that Missouri Governor Mike Parson said that if the St. Louis couple are charged, he's going to pardon them, which is good news, because they do not deserve to be punished. The couple accused demonstrators of marking down an iron gate, and they did. And you know what the best part is? The gate had a, quote, no trespassing sign and, quote, private street signs. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to the law, a lot of times having up a sign really makes a big difference. Because, you know, let's say you don't have a sign. Let's say you have a sign, there's no sign at all. People may not know that it's a private property, and they could make that argument in court. Well, I didn't really know. It was an accident. I'm sorry. But if there are signs that say, you know, danger, dog, there's a vicious dog, or danger, or no trespassing, this is private property, it means that if you trespass, you have the knowledge. And if you have the knowledge, then you're screwed in court because there's no argument you can make. You saw a sign and you ignored it, which means you had intent to trespass, to be violent, to rob, whatever the case. So Democrats want to create a world where you're not allowed to defend yourself, where you're not allowed to have weapons, and when you're not allowed to tell these violent rioters to screw off, to go F themselves, you know what I mean? So according to Gardner, quote, it is illegal to wave weapons in a threatening manner. That is unlawful in the city of St. Louis, Gardner said. St. Louis sounds like a shithole. Yeah, okay. So, not only is that a stupid law, she's not using it right. Usually when they have these laws about not violently, not waving their weapons, being really threatening, it's a lot different than someone defending themselves. Okay, so if I'm out in public and I get in an argument and then I bring out a gun and then I start waving it around in a violent manner, yeah, that can be considered an issue because you're escalating the situation and you're making things worse. But this is different, folks. You have a right to defend your property. You know, what's the point of buying a home, owning the home, if anyone can just waltz up to that home and threaten you, and you're not allowed to defend yourself? Bullshit. So Gardner is recommending a diversion program, such as community service, rather than jail time if the McCloskeys are convicted. Typically, Class E felonies could result in up to 4 years in prison. Yeah, you go to hell, Gardner. Who the F do you think you are? Huh? Who do you think you are? Oh, you're some low-level politician. Shut up. Because you know damn well that if violent rioters had come, and you know, the so-called protesters, had come to her house, had broken down her gates, oh, she would pull out an AK-47, right? She's not going to take it. She's going to defend her property. She probably has private security. Yeah. These politicians are dirty, dirty, dirty hypocrites. Now, I want to show you a clip from a video that is 50 years old. Oh, yeah. But when you listen to it, it's probably going to seem like it's the modern day.
Our nation is too full of those that are crying down. Down with the police. Down with the churches. Down with teachers. Down with government. Can you build anything down? You cannot. And let's begin now to use the word up. Up from all of this filth. Up from this violence. Up from this indifference of courts. Up to the hid battlements of eternity. The new type of violence that's sweeping our country, our schools, our streets, which involves destruction of everything that is in the past. There is a dominant minority that makes a lot of noise and that uses violence to force its will upon others. They only know what they're against. They do not know what they're for. The kind that will rifle desks, destroy property, burn homes, do anything to enforce their will. The world is built on order. There's a plan, so scientists are able to discover the laws of the universe. This harmony and order had to come from somewhere. It came from God. What is the essence of Satanism? The essence of Satanism is the destruction of that order. Believe me, fellow Americans, I tell you that Before the flood, in the book of Genesis we read, and in the days of Noah, there was violence on the earth. All of the violence that happens in our country is a fever graph. Read it, and it points to a decay in our civilization.
I'm not even religious, but this guy was on point. We're seeing this today. Riots in the streets, people burning things down, and I've said this before. It's so easy to destroy. It's so hard to build. And there's so many people out there who, rather than build, choose to bring down our society. So, this has caused a lot of controversy and debate. Supporters of the McCloskey said they were legally defending their $1.15 million home. Photos emerge as memes pop up on both sides of the gun debate. Several Republican leaders have condemned Gardner's investigation, including President Donald Trump and others. So Attorney General William Barr is being urged to undertake a civil rights investigation of Gardner, who's obviously abusing her power. This is a nonsense charge. We've all seen the broken gate. Gardner said that Trump and Parson and others are attacking her to distract from, quote, their failed approach of the COVID-19 pandemic, end quote, and other issues. Wow. The arrogance. See, I gotta be careful what I say here. How do I put this? This person should have never been elected, okay? And this is why you do not elect people like her. Because if you elect people like her, well, then you get irrationality, you get stupidity, and you get this. Someone who literally cannot understand why they're being attacked. You're being attacked because you're an absolute moron, abusing her power, being corrupt, and charging a couple who obviously are in the right here. They were right for defending their property. No one was hurt, and hell, even if someone was hurt, I would assume that it's the rioters' faults. They were doing something they weren't supposed to be. So why aren't you attacking and investigating those rioters? Why don't you look them up? Oh, they're not protesters. You know this. I know this. We all know this. So why? Why aren't you going after the criminals? The real ones? Because she'd have to turn herself in. That's the real reason. It's because you, a criminal yourself, sympathize with criminals. Now, St. Louis, like many cities, have seen these demonstrations, they've seen these protests, they've seen these riots, they've seen looting, they've seen violence, they've seen destruction. All of these places are being attacked, and you know what? We're so tired of it. So many Americans, like you and me, are completely and utterly sick of this. Now, for my foreign viewers, I'm sure that even you guys are tired of it. Why have there been protests and riots in Europe? It really doesn't make any sense when you really think about it, because it has nothing to do with Europe. They've got different police, different politicians, different laws. Heck, in a lot of places in Europe, you're not even allowed to have free speech. You don't have free speech. You have laws against speech. And the police are far, far less well equipped. So, tell me, doesn't that make it really obvious that all of these violent protests are not about justice? How could they be? Because this happened in America. The thing they're protesting against happened in America. How can people in other countries also be protesting? It makes no sense. And that exposes the fact that these protests are nothing more than a Marxist movement to undermine our civilization. Okay? Different people had different words for this throughout history. I call it idiots being idiots. So the McCloskeys live on a private street called a Portland Place. A police report said the couple heard a loud commotion and saw a large group of people break down an iron gate marked with no trespassing and private street signs. A protest leader, Rev. Daryl Gray, said the gate was open and that protesters didn't damage it. Well, I'm looking at the gate right here, and it is snapped in half. Open my ass. Now, here's why this is all just political theater and just nonsense. Trump spoke by phone with Parson last week to criticize Gardner's investigation. Now, Parson, when he was in the legislature, co-authored Missouri's Castle Doctrine law. Basically, it justifies the use of deadly force when you're defending your home from intruders. So he went on to say that the McCloskeys had every right to defend their property. So, Gardner is ignoring Castle Doctrine. Missouri is a Castle Doctrine state. Honestly, every state should have Castle Doctrine Everyone should be able to use deadly force against an intruder. Oh yeah, I fully support this. I fully believe in it. Yeah, I'm a libertarian, but at the end of the day, I believe in the AP, not the NAP. Don't intrude on my home. Now, one thing I really do not like about the St. Louis couple is that they said that they supported BLM. I think that was a mistake, because BLM is a violent organization that's been wreaking havoc, wreaking harm, and is run by Marxists. Literally, they're self-proclaimed Marxists. If you don't know what that is, basically communists who want to destroy America. Yeah, it's not an exaggeration. They literally want to throw a revolution, burn everything down, and then put up some socialist utopia where white people are, I don't know, punished and minorities rise up and rule over everything. That's the future they want. I personally believe that America is great, that we have equality, and that if people want to get ahead in life, they can. That's their own choice. They just got to work hard. So that's pretty much the story. They're charging them. Now, oh my God. I got to read you this quote. Guys. William Lacey Clay, a Democrat, said, "Protesters should never be subject to the threat of deadly force, whether by individuals or by the police." Again, when you elect certain people, this is what you get. Never vote Democrat, folks. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you like the content and want to support the channel, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. You know, every little bit helps. And if you want to donate, there's DonorBox and crypto. I'm taking several kinds. You can find the addresses and stuff down below in my description. And lastly, if you like this video, do please consider sharing it. Sharing the video really does help a lot. It goes really far these days, especially with the new algorithm, especially with Google's bias. People like us don't get a lot of promotion, so the best promotion we can get is word of mouth. If you like this video, consider giving it a share. Now, if you want to support the channel, but you want something physical in return, you can visit my merch store. I am looking to expand it. Currently, I have 2 alternative designs for Deus Vault. Beautiful artwork and a quality product. You can find the link, again, down below. And that's pretty much it. I do apologize if throughout this video you could hear a loud brrr. I have the AC going. It is very hot. I am going to use it. And I'm going to try to remove the noise background. So you go ahead and let me know if it's a bother or how bad it was. Because ideally it's going to be like really not too bad with the once I run it through Audacity. But yeah, without that AC I wouldn't even be making content. So there you go. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.